Hey, brothers and sisters from the StarkNet ecosystem. Welcome back to the Stark Cafe. This is Nur Star speaking, your personal Stark barista. And once again, we are ready to delight you with some very special StarkNet content. So, guys, I hope you're having a great week so far. And today at the Stark Cafe, we are going to explore a very interesting project that is building on StarkNet, whose main goal is helping users in fighting social media and mobile phone addiction through gamified token incentives. And I'm talking about Focus 3, whose co-founder, Gabin Marinier, is here with us at the Star Cafe. Hey, Gabin, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. How are
Yeah,
you?
it's perfect. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's a French name, so it might not always be easy to pronounce, but yeah, it's good.
That's great. Yeah, to be honest, I checked the pronunciation out before starting the
Oh,
space.
okay. I
That's
see.
why I got it right. Otherwise, maybe I would have said Gabin. But anyway,
Yeah,
having said that, thanks a lot for coming, Gabin. And I would like to start with a sort of icebreaker. I would like to tell us a bit about your own background and how did you come up with the idea behind Focus Tree. Do you also have I would also like to know whether you also have, like most people today, your own personal struggles when it comes to social media addiction. I mean, tell us also the mission of Focus 3 in this regard, please. The floor is
yeah,
yours.
sure. So maybe I can start briefly with my background. So I'm a dev, originally from Web2. So I worked in different startups, mainly on the backend stuff. And I guess was in 2022. I quit my last job and I started my first company. It's called Demos Ventures, and the goal was to enable people to invest in startups from one USDC. Because as you may know or not, usually startups they stay like private for, let's say, 5 years before they go public and people can buy them. And that's what I like with crypto, is that you actually can join a project very very early, and you can enjoy the growth if you believe in the project. So that's something I really loved about crypto. Anyway, we had to stop. I believe it was in May 2022, or yeah, it was early 2022. We had to stop mainly because of regulation, because the token we did were called security tokens, and they were basically a share in the startup, and it's very regulated and reserved to big financial accounts like banks and everything. So we preferred to stop waiting, for the regulation framework to change. And at the time, also Laurent, my co-founder, different background, is the marketing guy. He was on a project called what was it, Mechaverse, I guess, something like that. So it was an NFT project on Luna, and at the time the Luna blockchain crashed. And basically they lost all the funds, and they couldn't do, I mean, they couldn't continue for free, obviously. So yeah, it was very, so we stayed in touch. We're friends since I would say 5 to 7 years, and we were talking a lot. Me as a technical advice, and him as a marketing advice. And at the time, I was also using a lot of productivity apps. Maybe you know Forest, but if you don't know, the principle is very simple. Is you start a timer, and it helps you. It gets notification on your phone, and you can just focus on your work. And I was very very addicted to YouTube also. Like basically, I wake up, I put YouTube podcast, and I work always to have something in my ears, and I wanted to fight this addiction. And I started to look up to different tools, to block distracting apps. And then I tried 100 of them, but the main problem was that when I get the notification to stop, let's say, for example, I've set a limit on YouTube of 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, I get the notification to remind me, okay, let's stop using YouTube. And every time I was like snoozing the notification and continue to watch. I'm not sure if it's if you know what I mean, but if you tried such tools, most people they struggle and they uninstall those tools because yeah, we all want to have healthier habits, but when you are addicted, it's very very hard, to be honest. And I always give the comparison with when you smoke. Like most people we know that smoke, they say, "Yeah, I'm gonna quit smoking," but then you come back 2 years later, and they always say, "I'm gonna quit," and they never can because it's an addiction. So when we realized it was an addiction, I was like, okay, we should find a way to give real consequences when you snooze the notification to actually give you real incentive. And by the time, it was the time like Stepen was crazy hyped, and I talked to many friends of me that started to run simply to earn crypto incentives. So by now we know it was not sustainable, but still, like, so many people started to run simply to get those financial incentives. And then yeah, we with Laurent, we brainstormed and connected the dots, like, okay, maybe there's something to do in terms of productivity x Web3. So maybe not like a Ponzi system. We can talk about that later, but yeah, definitely not like Axie or Stepen. But still, I think they proved that it was really effective when it comes to adopt healthy habits, like running in their case, and in our case is less using your phone. So yeah, that's how the idea came out, basically.
Great. Thanks a lot, Gabin, for this amazing overview about your own background, where you have a lot of experience in both Web2 and also in the early, let's say, in the legacy crypto history. So I think this will be a good advantage, and this will help you a lot during your journey building the Focus Tree product. And also, having said that, yeah, I think most of us are a bit struggling, have been struggling at least once in their lifetime with some kind of addiction, also like in this case with social media addiction. And obviously, it's something. Maybe it's only in the last few years that it's being considered an addiction. Before, 3-4 years ago, maybe it was simply somebody who would just watch their mobile phone too much. But now it's being researched, and it's clear that it's an addiction, and it's bad for our health. So it's personally, I've never tried any app, any app, sorry, which helps you monitoring your social media usage. Maybe only once to see how many hours I stay in front of the computer, and it's embedded, also on Apple's devices. Every week they send you a recap regarding the hours that you spent on the computer. But yeah, it would be nice to have a app that stimulates you to use the mobile as less as possible, and also in the most productive way. Because obviously one thing is using your mobile to work, and obviously without overworking, but like instead of using your mobile phone only to scroll down useless content, let's say. So yeah, looking forward to see how Focus Tree will be able to help us out with. And having said that, let's dive deeper a bit on the Focus Tree app itself. And let's imagine we can already play with the DApp on a very mature stage. How will how will it look like in terms of structure and gamified reality? Could you guide us
Yeah.
through a sort of simulation? Thanks.
Yeah, so sure, we can go through. Maybe I can start with like a more like the approach we have, like more general, and then we can go through a imaginary use case, so everyone understand how to use Focus Tree. And just one thing though, I won't be able to disclose everything because, as you may know, there will be a Starknet CC in a few months. I think it's in July, we have like something big around the art to release around the trees and everything. So that's why I won't go too much into details on this part, but yeah, I will try to give as much as I can. So first, in a more general approach, so you have two things in Focus 3. You have the tool. So the tool is what? Is the ability to monitor your usage of your phone, to block distracting apps, to start a timer. So those are like basic features that are already existing in other solutions. But like I said before, the real problem is more about creating motivation to actually use those features on a daily basis. That's what is hard to do, and I think that's how we are different from competitors, in that we are not just a tool to help you with productivity. We're just like we want to help you with your motivation. Do you know North Star Duolingo to learn a new language?
Absolutely. Like I'm a polyglot, so I speak like 6 languages, and obviously, I'm very
Well,
familiar with those apps such as Duolingo. I'm using it now also to learn both French in order to get to Paris, with a good French in shape. And then I'm
nice.
also using it for the Japanese, and I also used other language apps as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So if you know Duolingo, I think you will quickly understand our vision. So let the crypto on the side. Basically, we are doing like the Duolingo, but for productivity. I think they proved that them with a nice gamification, you can actually help people to stick, to their to create new habits. So in their case, to learn language, but in our case, it will be to use less your phone. But so now, if I can go more deeper, the idea is you have a tree on a garden, and the idea is your tree is very small. Okay, it's a digital good. You start for you have a freemium version, so everyone will start with a basic common tree. If you want to get a more like fancy tree, you need to go on the marketplace and buy one. And then the more you're gonna focus, the more you're gonna earn points. So the formula is public. We're still working on it, but basically it includes many factors such as the duration you focus, obviously, your tree. So if it's a more fancy tree, you will get bonuses, and what we call your streak links. So maybe I can explain what is a streak, because it's really at the heart of what we do at Focus Tree. So a streak.
I think we lost contact with Gabin because I can't listen to him. Gabin, are you still there? We can't listen to you, or at least at least for me, I can listen to you.
Is the number of day in a row.
Gabin, we just heard you for a couple of seconds with a very distorted sound. So yeah, maybe you're having some connecting issues. Let's see if you solve that. Sorry guys for this problem. Hopefully Gabin will sort it out. But yeah, thanks a lot for being here once again. So thanks a lot, Exodus, Kodawari, Apohanti, Joel Colo, Gaem, Wada. Thanks a lot. We're having a discussion about Focus 3, a productivity DApp that wants to help people fighting their social media and phone addiction. by incentivizing people to create their own pixelated garden where they would place a plant. Sorry, they would plant a tree, and with the time, as long as you don't use, as long as you will use your time on the phone in the right way, your garden will flourish, and the DApp will give you tokens, the DApp tokens. And Gabin was explaining also. He told us about his background in both Web2 and the early stages of of the crypto years, and then he was guiding us through this app, and also was comparing this app to Duolingo. So they have a similar approach like Duolingo, and they are going to use this kind of approach for productivity. So the goal is letting you avoid wasting time on your phone, and using that time for more productive things. And yeah, having said that, a couple of minutes ago he lost contact. He must be having some connecting issues. Let me see if I can write to him on the ends, and I'll get back to you with some news whether we are able to continue this pace or not. Thanks a lot for your patience, though.
Hey, Norstar, sorry, I just went off network.
No worries, Gabin. Please feel free to continue where we stopped.
Yeah, what's the last thing you heard?
Okay, we were talking about, I think, the structure of the game. You were giving an overview about the app features, how the game will look like at a more mature stage. We were doing a kind of simulation.
Okay, sure. No, so okay, so did you hear about the social things or not?
So I would advise you to. I would suggest you to begin from scratch that kind of point.
Oh, okay,
We
sure.
basically, we talk about the Duolingo comparison.
Yeah.
So you can start from that.
Yeah, sure. So okay, so like I said, maybe so I start briefly from scratch. So we have two ways to incentivize people. First way is by financial incentives and crypto rewards. It's very effective, but in the long term, it doesn't work because people are just it's really easy, on the short term, but not on the long term. On the long term side, what's very effective is social interaction and being with friends. So what we're gonna develop, and it's gonna come very soon, is the social layer on focus tree. So beside than just focusing by yourself, which means starting a timer that cut off all the notification on your phone, and prevents you to go on other apps, you're gonna be able to do that, but with friends. And I'm not gonna spoil the announcement in a few months, but basically you will be able to customize the environment, let's say, with your friends, and you're gonna a bit like a Minecraft server, when you build things with your friends. So it will be the same. And yeah, what we want to do is to organize competition both inside the garden, so you want to compete with your friend, you want to challenge them, but also against other people that you don't know. For example, we know that a lot of students are using focus apps, to study. And what we want to do is to organize like uni challenges. For example, some medicine uni in Asia vs some medicine uni in Europe. And then you're gonna have a leaderboard, between all those unis, and prize pools. So prize pools, they're gonna be in focus coins, and they're gonna be also with digital goods that we add, like the content we add into the game. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you need to remind something, or like the differentiator with focus tree is first, like short term is financial rewards, and on the long term of the journey, it's gonna be more like social interactions. And our idea is it's a bit like Fortnite. maybe you don't know, but Fortnite, it's a game, and their business model is they sell skins. So the skins, they don't help you in the game, but it's just like they look good, And why it's working really well? Why? Because a lot of people, they spend like 2 hours a day on Fortnite with their friends. So it's a bit like when you are at high school, you're with your friends, and the guy with the best like shoes, everyone is jealous. So in Fortnite, it's the same. Like if you spend a lot of time in a metaverse, we could say that, then it's you want to spend money, to actually get nice skins, because it is your representation in this digital world. So that's our approach for the business model, is to create this social layer where people can find communities that share the same goal. For example, I don't know, people who want to create startup, people who want to graduate from medicine, people who want to write a novel, people who want to run a marathon. So you find communities of people who have the same goals than you. And the idea is you're gonna be able to connect with them and get more motivation and more emulation, by interacting with them.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot, Gabin, for explaining to us a bit the structure of the Focus Street app. And yeah, looking forward to seeing these kind of use cases you told us about and you spoiled us. But yeah, please don't spoiler too much, because I'm also going to Paris and I would like to get the surprise effect. And yeah, but yeah, joking aside, well, would you also like to spend some words on other, DApp features such as the wallet and marketplace? So is Focus Tree going to have its own non-custodial wallet?
Yeah. So we already have it. So right now, Focus 3 is in closed alpha, which means like a few hundred users already have access to the app. But we are connected on the testnet. And like I said, I don't want to spoil, but we're gonna revamp a lot our art. So right now, there's not much change on the NFT side, but in a few weeks there's gonna be a big change. But yeah, right now we are on testnet. We have our own wallet inside the app. It is open sourced. It's called starknet.dart. If you wanna check on GitHub, if you're a developer, we can help you also. And we have nice features, like for example, to sign a transaction, you only need to use Face ID or Touch ID, which is really a nice feature, What else I can say? And yeah, for the marketplace, we're gonna have a marketplace inside the app. But do you know the Everright team, like Snapshot Labs?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're big OG and stuff.
Yeah, so basically those guys are building a protocol to build marketplaces on Starknet, but without fragmenting liquidity. Because let's say an example, someone on the Focus Tree app, he wants to list his tree on the marketplace, but then only people on the app will see that it is listed, it won't be listed on Mint Square, for example. But with the solution of Snapshot Labs, the idea is we're going to share the same protocol. So when some NFT is listed on one marketplace, then it's going to be listed on all marketplaces. And when it is bought on one marketplace, then all the other marketplaces sees it. So it's going to unify, the liquidity for NFTs on Starknet, which will be like really crazy, and more efficient and better for everyone. So yeah, we're gonna have a marketplace, but it's gonna come later because we are relying on what does Snapshot Labs, and build upon their protocol.
I see. Thanks a lot for that. And Focus Tree, Gabin, Focus Tree seems to be a very gamified app. So could you tell us the role of gamified elements in the game, such as the one played by trees? Then there are other elements such as the garden itself, the progression system, and the water level that is used as stamina in the game. So could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, sure.
Please?
So like we said, the trees are the main, like the primitive elements in Focus Tree. They are really like, if you want to focus, you need a tree. the trees are basically have different rarity level, from common to epic, legendary, stuff like that. In our case, we followed what has done So Rare, if you know. So, for example, they are for each species. You only have 1,000 rare trees, 100 epic trees, and 10 legendary trees. This way, it's great, for people, because when they have, they know that we are not gonna increase, the like the scarcity will be maintained. I think that was one of the big problem of Axie Infinity and Steppen on their NFTs is, for example, they allowed breeding, which means you take, in the case of Steppen, 2 shoes, and you get a third one. And it's really Ponzi, because the supply of shoes will just gonna go crazy to infinite, and the value of one shoes will go to zero. So in our case, we're gonna prevent this, because we say that we're not gonna exceed like 1,111 trees for each species, which is a guarantee for the investors. So that's for the tree. Like I said, it's gonna grow from level 1 to level 100 by focusing. What else did I mention? So for the garden, like I said, I'm not going too much into the detail of gardens, but it's gonna be crazy. Trust me. Maybe we can do another one in 2 months, and we can talk about it. For the water level, it's something that we needed to avoid, cheating, because if you earn points by focusing, we know that some people will just have a secondary phone and they're gonna focus all day, and it's unfair with people actually using the app properly. So the water level is some kind of stamina, which means every time you focus, the water level decreases, and you need to wait 1 day so it refills. So it's also a great incentive for people to buy another tree, because the water level is at the tree level, which means that if you don't want to wait and you want to continue to focus, you can buy another tree, which is good, for the potentially, which will be good for the floor price and for the ecosystem in general. We are gonna have also an implementation of mystery box, because something very powerful for people to be motivated is the unpredictability, and we don't want people to know how much they're gonna get rewarded, because otherwise it's gonna kill, the effect. So basically, it will be like every time you focus, you don't really know what you're gonna get. Sometimes it's gonna be focus coins, sometimes it can be like other digital goods. That's again for motivation. We do that. And also the streak, which will be available in different grades, from bronze, silver, gold, diamond, etc. And the better your streak, the more advantages it unlocks, and the more points you're gonna get from focusing. Maybe do you want to talk about the tokenomics now, or maybe later?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's the next question basically is about tokenomics. I see that you're going to deploy like there's gonna be two type of coins, on the game. Yeah. Could you explain to us how it works?
Yeah, sure. So in every play to earn games, you have 2 coins. Usually you have one coin called utility, which is usually available in unlimited supply. So it's worth nothing almost. And you have one, DAO coin, governance coin. So in the case of Steppen, it's called the GMT. And okay, let me explain why it doesn't work. So why 2 coins? In every game, not Web3, in every game you're gonna have 2 kind of coins. You're gonna have what we call the experience points, and you're gonna have what we call the currency. So again, let's take Pokemon, because I think most people know Pokemon. In Pokemon, every time you fight with a Pokemon, it's gonna earn experience points, and it's gonna go through levels. But when you combat, to get currency, you only get it when you fight I don't know the name in English, but humans. Pokemon coach basically. And the functions are very different, because the currency, it can be traded, it can be used to buy things in the shop. And the points, the big aspect that's really important is that the points must not be transferable. Otherwise, if the points would be transferable, then what you would do, you start Pokemon day one and you just buy a lot of points and you get your Pokemon at level 100. But where is the fun if you do that? Then it means that you didn't grind it, you didn't earn it, so it's worth nothing. In our jargon, we say if the token is transferable, it cannot serve as a reputation signal. So okay, that's why we have two tokens usually in Web2 games. We have some tokens that is not transferable and one token that is transferable, because the purposes of those two tokens are really different. And the problem with Axie Infinity and Steppen is that they used ERC20 for both of those tokens, which means that if you think about it, people are really confused. Like if you use Steppen, you're like, I don't really understand what's the difference between GST and GMT, except that one is in hard cap supply, but it's really like the same functionality, like both have utility in game. So it's really confusing, and also it doesn't work because people can just go on the market and buy GST and pimp, they can, it's a pay to win. So, and also it's Ponzi, because the more user they are, the more GST are emitted. So over time, the value of one GST is going to zero. That's mathematics. So now we have understood that, and also because we have talked to people at Andreessen Horowitz and experts in tokenomics. So that's why in our case, the tokens that we call focus points are not transferable, a bit like SBTs, and it's very important. It means that if you get focus points, it means that you have earned them, and you cannot sell them. You cannot buy them. So it means that it can be trusted as a reputation signal. And then, based on those focus points that you've earned, then you get paid a dividend in focus points. So that's why so that's the difference. The focus points in our case are real ERC20. Is very what you think of a currency is. It's really the currency, in focus tree. You can use them for anything in focus tree. And the points, those are really useful, to compare people, to know, okay, do you deserve to get more focus coins or not? Because obviously someone that's not gonna focus much is gonna earn less focus coins than someone that's gonna focus a lot. And the last thing I want to say on the tokenomics is, in contrary to Steppen, when let's say they have 1 million users, let's say you give one coin every time per user. Then if you grow your users, you're gonna emit a lot of tokens, and the value, everyone's gonna get diluted. So in our case, focus coins are hard capped, and every month we give to the community a certain portion of tokens, which means that we emit token independently of the number of users, which means that if you are early on the project, let's say there are 10 users, you're gonna get roughly 1/10 of all the prize pool. And then in 1 year, there are like 1 million, you only get 1 millionth of the prize pool. So it's what's great is the more early you get, the more focus coins you can farm. So we find it's really cool to reward the people that are early in the project and supporting us. And also what's cool is that over the next 5 years, we are gonna distribute the same amount of focus coins every month, which means that it will be very easy for speculators and investors to know if it's a good investment. They're not gonna see, okay, we've created so many coins that it's worth nothing. No, we know that we're gonna create 30% of the supply for the community, and that's it.
I see, Gabin. Thanks a lot for clarifying, the tokenomics around the focus tree DApp. And so, as far as understood, focus points are going to work as merely as reputation coins,
Yeah,
basically, right? And
exactly.
also based on that, and together with the usage that the user does of the DApp, will receive focus coins, and also the amount of focus coins that users will receive will always change during the months, right?
Yeah,
Based on the player as
yeah,
well, on how many players.
yeah, exactly. So if I go more into details, we're gonna have different price pools. Um, we're gonna have a general one for people who don't have NFTs. So we're gonna give them what we call common trees, which are again not really NFTs. Those are just a tree to start if you don't have money. But probably we're gonna have 90% of our users playing with free assets, and so those people are gonna share the same price pool, which means that they're gonna earn coins, but very little coins, and it's normal because they didn't put money into the protocol. But then if you get for example a rare tree, you're gonna get access to the rare leaderboard. And like I said, there are gonna be fewer people because it's gonna limited. For example, if you have an epic tree, there are only 10 people, there are only 100 people who have epic trees, which means that you have a bigger portion of the prize pool because there are less people having an epic tree. So yeah, that's how we're gonna distribute the focus coins.
I see, Gabin. Thanks a lot for that. Well, the last question is about the roadmap, but I think you've already disclosed enough points, about the future steps of Focus 3, and I wouldn't like you to spoiler too much. I don't know if you would like to add anything about the future roadmap. Otherwise, we can just skip it.
I can go really brief. So like I said, we prepare something big for Starknet CC. I think people will really enjoy that. It will be something at the heart of the gameplay and the art. Okay, so it's gonna be in July. Then in September, October, I'm not sure yet. We're gonna go mainnet because, like I said, right now we are just experimenting. So what we want is people to enjoy the app without the crypto rewards, because we know that if they enjoy it without crypto rewards, then when we add it, it's just gonna improve. But we think that most people on Web3 relied on the crypto rewards, and they are bad product, and people only use them because they want the reward. We don't want to do that. That's why we stayed main testnet for like a year. But in September we are gonna introduce the first trees on mainnet, and people are gonna be able to to play with real assets. And yeah, the plan is to do also an ICO, so people can, if they want to invest in the token, they will be able to do it, but it will be in 2024. So yeah, this year is gonna be more like experimenting a lot, and so we've built a lot of things already. The wallet, the tool, obviously, and the gamification mechanics. We have all that, but we want to go further. For example, we have tons of integration with other DeFi protocols we want to do. For example, if you know Carbonables, they do credit carbon on Starknet. We would like people to be able to, offset carbon credits with their NFT. And under the hood, we use Carbonable. So that's one example of what allows, interoperability. And like I said, also end of this year, we want to have the marketplace in the app directly. So yeah, a lot of things are coming, and we are building.
Awesome, Gabin. looking forward to using the Focus Tree app in the coming months to reduce my own phone addiction, and also looking forward to meeting you in Paris next July and to hear regarding the big news that you told us they're coming. And yeah, having said that, thanks a lot, Gabin, for coming today and to explain what's the mission behind Focus Tree. Well, we had a great time. And furthermore, I would love to thank all the live listeners. Thanks a lot, guys. And we are going to open the Star Cafe tomorrow at 8:30 UTC, so a bit earlier than usual. We're having the team from Starkfield, an interesting NFT project which is experimenting with semi-fungible tokens. See you tomorrow. And yeah, having said that, it's time to close. Remember sharing the Starknet vibe and see you the next time. Bye, guys. Bye, Gabin.
Yeah.
See you in Paris.
Yeah. See you in
Take care,
Paris,
guys.
everyone. Thank you. Bye, North Star.
Bye, bye. Bye, guys.